slap you down. One life is on this.
Media, I get a wallow. Vdm wine. Vdm wine.
Please, see.
I don't understand you. You can't get us that one. I want rubbish on the
Dog back on down for flag. Go slap you down. One life is on this.
Media, I get a wallow. Vdm wine. Vdm wine.
Please, see.
I don't understand you. You can't get us that one. I want rubbish on the
Dog back on down for flag. Go slap you down. One life is on this.
Media, I get a wallow. Vdm wine. Vdm wine.
All right, and there you have it. I mean, it's still unclear who hit whom first, judging by the fact that the camera went straight to selfie mode before we could see who hit who first, even though Nnamdi strongly believes that he heard a sound of Mr. Jollof being slapped first. But I believe that Mr. Jollof slapped Vdm first. But what does it really matter? I mean, there was an altercation on board an aircraft that saw other passengers defending themselves to avoid being hit, of course, by the two fighting passengers. Now, to give us more insights on what truly transpired, because it was their aircraft, is the Public Relations Officer, United Nigeria Airlines, Mr. Chibuike Uloka. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. I mean, you're all smiles. You're all smiles. Why are you smiling? Tell us.
Why would I smile? Well, we're here. It's a trending story. It's a trending issue. I think we're now in a country whereby every week we wake up to different stories and all that. And, well, for us, it's not a good sight. It's not a good sight. These are part of the issues that threaten the environment for us to operate safely. You know, having two adults who are social activists and social influencers who should be using their numbers to drive education, aviation education to the people, the things that the do's and don'ts around an airport environment. These are the people who are caught in the web of these altercations. And looking at it, it's funny. It's funny. And it's not a good side at all for the industry for us.
So what has your investigations revealed? I mean, there's a lot of confusion around who hit who first, because we understand that some people would say if you're insulted, then you can insult back. If you're hit, then you can hit back, right? So who started this fight? It's really important that we understand who started the fight so that we don't put things in the wrong perspective.
Okay, for us, it is not about who started. It's about what happened. There was an altercation, there was fight that ensued between two passengers. There was a two fighting for us on board an aircraft that was on ground.
So it doesn't
matter
boarding. If there's a problem.
No, the investigation will be able, you know, that's a police investigation to do. For us, we have two people who fought and we've handed them over to authorities. So the investigation probably will be able to assess all of this and present the report at the end of the day.
But judging by the video that you saw and millions of other Nigerians saw, who provoked whom first?
Well, we are still waiting. I would not be able to, conclude based on the videos because there are a whole lot of scenes to that video. It's about citizen journalism. It's about eyewitness, people who were shooting from different angles and all that. And the question to ask is, at what point did the video actually started?
Yes.
At what point? Because nobody probably thought there would be such a thing. It was not scripted. It was not planned. That maybe someone would have probably set up a camera that, okay, these two persons are going to fight. So let's record it from the start. So it was an incident that started happening before people who were around felt like they should record
From
it.
the POV of the airline and someone that works with the airline, could you tell us in detail what exactly transpired on board that aircraft?
Okay, for the little detail, because the investigation is still going on, we've called for a full-scale investigations from the crew that were on duty to give us a full grasp of what happened. But from the details that we have, the aircraft was on ground at Asaba Airport. It was doing boarding, trying to board. The flight was supposed to leave to Lagos, so it was boarding. And at the time of boarding, all the crew were busy trying to take in passengers, direct them to where they're going to sit, do their instructions carefully. And all of a sudden, we had an altercation inside the aircraft that passengers were boarding. And the crew rushed immediately to know what was going on. And we found that two passengers, were actually engaged in a kind of, at this point, I don't think it's okay to say altercations because I think there was a physical exchange, moreover. So we saw two passengers who were engaged in physical exchange, and they have to quickly and immediately de-escalate the situation because it's a breach of safety protocol. So they have to quickly and immediately de-escalate the situation in the aviation standard, invite the security to deboard them immediately because they are no longer safe to be on that plane. Those are the first measures we have to take. And we did that immediately and handed over to the security.
So what the video did not capture was the actual deboarding of the two passengers who were having a physical altercation. How was that done? How did you do it?
No, it was done. Now, at that point, I think the security have taken over the environment. So all cameras and all videos, because it's a serious breach of safety protocols. So at that point, I think the security came in, they were able to handle the situation to be able to take out all cameras. But eventually, the two passengers were still detained at the police station because that's the normal protocol in aviation.
Did they submit themselves willingly to the police, or was it a case of Ibom Air? No, did they have to fight to get them off the aircraft?
No, we didn't fight. We arrested them. We were so professional to get the best securities on ground.
How was it handled professionally?
No, we have trained securities around the airport.
Tell us how it happened.
We have trained securities around the airport who knows how to do each of their job. So it was just to at least brief them that you've breached the security, the safety and security protocols of the aircraft and the airport.
At what point did they stop?
At what point they stopped? No, immediately the altercation ensued. We had to invite the security immediately. So all those clips you were seeing probably lasted for probably a few seconds or thereabout because there were a lot of cameras capturing the same thing at the same time. So it was more like it wasn't extended. It was just a few seconds before the security swamped immediately on it and was able to gently, in a calm manner, because even they too know they've committed an offense against the airport environment. So I think they didn't resist to arrest. They didn't resist to it. So we handed them over to the security, who picked them, deboarded them, and took them to the police station until the flight landed in Lagos. Before we can able to say, okay, security, our flight has landed in Lagos. We are going on a full-scale investigation before we can come up with whatever that we're going to do or say regarding this issue.
How were they taken down from the aircraft? Were they taken down, or were they put in cuffs, or what was? I want you to paint a picture of what we did.
Now, I'm an operator. So I could not be saying what the security did. It's the job of the security. I am not the security personnel. My job is to be mindful of the aircraft, the equipment, and what happens with the brand. So it's not about the security job. So I think it would be important if the security could. But all I know is that they didn't resist arrest. They were gently deboarded and handed over to security. So there was no resistance whatsoever. If that's what you're looking at, there was no resistance whatsoever. They complied gently with the security operatives.
Would they receive a ban from United Nigeria, a flight ban, or like we saw in the case of Kwamwon, since Nigeria, we now have a trend of rewarding bad behavior, would they be made flight compliance ambassadors, as Kwamwon was made an aviation safety ambassador for literally what in some countries we call a terrorist activity? So will very dark man and Mr. Jollof become flight compliance ambassadors, or would they be receiving flight bans?
Oh, okay. In that regard, like I said, the investigation is through. Every activity or action around the airport has its own violation.
With regards to United now.
Now, regards to United,
has their laws.
Now, when you're talking about
an airline, would they be given a ban from using your airline?
we have to evaluate the extent of the damage caused and probably be able to read the Riot Act. That's why I said that the investigation is important. At the end of the investigation, we'll be able to ascertain that this is the offense that they have committed and this is the penalty for that investigation. We will not be so fast to say, okay, this is what has happened, this is what, but this is no, we've said it in our statement that this is a no for us. We, we operate a zero tolerance for a conduct that threatens this environment to operate, a conduct that threatens the safety of passengers and other crew members. We operate a zero tolerance on that. And have they committed an offense? Certainly they've committed an offense. So the investigation will reveal what extent of offense have they committed and what is the penalty for that offense.
Right. Speaking about the other passengers who had to defend themselves from being knocked over when the two started to fight, do you consider that an endangerment of the lives of other passengers on board the aircraft?
That's actually the main issue. That is the reason why we said we have to immediately de-escalate and deboard them, because their activity and the scuffle and whatever that happened there endangered the life of other passengers and the crew member and even equipment that was worth millions of dollars. It's endangering the equipment.
Was any equipment damaged during the scuffle?
It's still part of the investigations that is going on. All we know that the aircraft was safe and certified airworthy to still continue on that flight on that particular moment. So at that point,
you're a PR expert. Let's talk about the video circulated and the two individuals involved who have millions of followers and great deal of influence. Do you consider this incident as one to have demarketed the airline, or has it brought the airline into the limelight? How is United Nigeria basically receiving this altercation? What has it done to the image of the airline?
Well, I think United Nigeria has always maintained a very good image in the public space and the media and among the passengers and all that. So if he had demarketed the airline, no, I don't think so. It was no fault of the airline. There was no point they said that it was a kind of an assault between the staff of the airline and the passenger. It was not a situation whereby the airline did not comply in what it's supposed to comply on, in services, in its operational requirements and all that. It was just two passengers who should be on an aircraft who decided to have a personal affair. So it's more or less saying that, okay, you should have a guest this morning on your show, and they're supposed to come in through your gate. A guest, you are invited, two of them, and all of a sudden something started happening and immediately they get into your gate. What do? If the securities are around, they probably push them out to go and have their issues sorted outside. It has nothing to do with your station or your TV. So it has not the basis to demarket the airline, definitely. No, because there was no service deficiency from the airline. There was no safety deficiency from the airline, not at all. So demarketing is out of it. How we are reacting to it? Well, I think every activity, every incident has its own benefits.
What are the benefits?
I will probably not be able to say it here now. But we know that every activity has its own benefits, whether negative or positive. For us, it has nothing negative, because it is no fault of the airline. It is no deficiency of the airline, but rather it is the misbehavior of the two passengers.
Yes, one would say, speaking about value jet, in the incident concerning value jet, many people just knew about the basic IBOM Air Peace United Nigeria, but value jet, after that incident, the Kwam 1, right? Kwam 1, it basically thrusted up. So you don't want to tell me the benefits, but
we're already up. We're already up.
You're already up. Yes.
We're already up.
Everybody with aircraft, you can only go higher, right?
We're already up. Everybody that knows the environment, everybody that knows the industry, they have known that United Nigeria has been around for a long time, and this airline has been, trying to provide, a safe and reliable air service for people, uniting them with their destination. So we're already up the ladder. So I wouldn't know what you're trying to hear from me if this added to our visibility.
You said there are always benefits.
Yeah, there are always benefits, and maybe on the long run we'll be able to assess what actually happened and what it is. But we know we're already up the ladder, and that is the reason why we can have passengers like that of that level. If this incident did not happen, probably these two individuals were a lot of people were looking up to,
but now
because of the numbers they have on social media.
Top influencers, Vdm and Mr. Jollof, that they fly United Nigeria. Are those the benefits you're talking about?
A lot of people fly United Nigeria Airlines.
Yes.
A lot of people fly.
But then with their following, does that not... Well, Nnamdi, over to you.
I mean, it's not... People are not going to not fly because of the incident. But I asked tongue in cheek if you would make Mr. Jollof and very dark man ambassadors, because the truth is,
why should we make them an ambassador?
I mean, Kwame was made a flight safety ambassador after literally committing one of the worst violations, which is standing in front of
the airline did not make Kwame or whoever an ambassador. It was not the airline that was involved in that scuffle that made them. Maybe an authority somewhere felt they have their reasons. Maybe if you dig deeper, probably when someone commits an offense and they should not be in a position to commit that offense, maybe the best way to reprimand them is to tell them, okay, you should know that you should lead the education against this. Now, we are not giving you the responsibility to do this. Maybe it was an opportunity to allow that person to understand their role in the society, giving them the responsibility to drive that aviation education, you know. So if you look at it from the other way around, you could see maybe authorities have their own reasons. It's not the airline. So for us as an airline, we should not be able to glorify such behavior and all that. It endangers the environment for us to operate.
So there was a complaint I got recently, talked to one of my friends, and she mentioned something.
Yeah.
That one very dark man Jollof incident had them escorted away. But when it was a lady at Ibon Air, she was dragged, stripped, and pulled on the floor. And the second argument was that, that incident had baggage handlers, not airport security. That was why it was different. So my question is, it's actually something that most people have not thought about, that it seems as if when it was the guys that had the issue, there was no resistance or little problem. But it seemed very violent and turbulent when it was time to get a lady off the plane. Was it her resisting? Was it improper handling of the situation? Was it poor security? Or was it a mixture of both? Because you have 3 different airlines, 3 different situations, but only the lady seemed to have a violent and disruptive removal.
Okay, I wouldn't be in the right position to be able to speak about that sister airline and lady this thing. But if we have to look at it, the pictures and all that, now it's a two-way something, just like you said. It probably might be a mixture of both. Now, when you are approached, how did you react to it? Reactions determines an action in most cases. The reaction of the people determines an action of the authorities in most cases. How did the person react to it? But I think that was a long forgotten case by now. I think we should be talking about things that portrays the industry in a good light.
Every time there's an issue on a flight, it's going to come up. Because if you
I think if you don't remember without trying to be disrespectful to anybody, I think if we take a closer look at the clip of that incident, we'll be able to see maybe there was some level of resistance. And when emotions are high and when there are resistance, you can no longer control what happens thereafter. There are safety protocols, there are measures, and there are streamlined ways of deboarding passengers off the plane. It's a standard SOP that nobody violates. But when those SOPs are not being not able to be enforced, situations might arise that alternative measures has to be determined. Every member of the industry has condemned the treatment on the lady. It was not something to be proud of. It was bad. It was an eyesore. Nobody supported that treatment. So we try keep flogging it over and over. It's trying to reopen the injury and all that. It's something that we want Nigerians to let go of. The site should leave everybody's mind and everybody's side.
So we have a few minutes left on the program. I want to circle back to this incident. Now, you speak about investigations, that investigations are on the way to unravel more about incidents, and so that United Nigeria can basically plan or chart its course of action. So what's the role of United Nigeria Airlines in this investigation if there are no CCTV cameras that can help provide a fuller understanding of what happened? Are there CCTV cameras on board United Nigeria aircrafts?
Well, talking of the role of United Nigeria Airline and all of these things, you have to first of all factor in that we are the victims. United Nigeria Airline is the victim of this incident. We lost an operational hour because of this incident. A flight that should have departed at 9 a.m. was a little bit delayed because of that incident. So we are the victim of all of this. Talking about the CCTV camera, we have gadgets that are able to capture events and incidents. We always give a good account of our operations and our services whenever there are incidents like this. So we have gadgets that are enough to be able to report both audio recording and the rest of it, that will be able to say, okay, this was the incidents that happened and this is how it started. And thanks to the citizen journalists who were around, who were able to at least capture things on their own. At least we're still going to rely on those reports. And also, it's human beings, actually. They are not unknown. So we are still going to invite the eyewitnesses who were there, who were on the flight, who were sitting close, even the ones seen on the video trying to defend themselves, to be able to give a proper account of what happened and how we're going to take it up from there.
Okay, so are there CCTV cameras or not?
That question, probably I have to take it over.
Take it over then.
I have to take it over to the next time. The investigation. I don't know. No, this is a very sensitive question. I shouldn't tell you if there is or there is not, because that probably would give a whole lot of information to people out there. They probably go look for it. Where is it mounted, to be able to block it? This is a security.
No, because it's important, because we're talking about the inadequacy of the videos that we have. We can't even determine who struck the first punch.
No, don't worry. This is part of the investigations. I don't have to tell you what the securities are going to rely on to be able to carry out their investigations. I've gone to the end of it to tell you what the investigation is all about.
CCTV cameras,
no, don't take it that way.
So what should we take it
as?
as?
CCTV cameras.
You don't take it that there is no CCTV.
So which one is it?
You can take it to be anything,
but cameras or not?
You can take it to be anything, but don't take it that there is no CCTV camera on board.
Cameras on board.
It might not be CCTV, but there is an equipment that captures activities.
Okay.
What kind of equipment is that?
CCTV.
It's the latest innovation then.
That's what you're using, but the aircraft has its own features.
What are those features?
Probably the investigation will reveal that.
Reveal what's on your aircraft? Aviation
has its protocols and standard operating procedures. There are things you don't reveal.
Okay.
Spoken like a true expert. Let's leave it at that. Now this has happened, and I would like you to just state clearly what the next steps are for the airline. Could you let us know what the next steps are? Once you leave the studio, what's the next point of action in this case? What action would UNA be taking?
No, like I said earlier, investigation is still ongoing. This is an event that happened just yesterday. It's less than 24 hours or less than 24 hours. So the investigation is still something that it's not something that happens in 1 hour and decisions are taken in the next hour. We have to at least take a full-scale investigation.
You spoke about UNA being the victims of this incident. Is UNA expecting an apology from the two passengers?
Definitely, it's a must. We are the victims. We lost money, we lost time, we endangered the life of our passengers and our crew. We endangered our equipment that worth millions of dollars. So definitely there should be. Probably at the end of the investigations, this probably will be a part of the situations we're coming up with.
Has there been any communication between UNA and the two altercating passengers?
Well, I think there is a communication already. It's part of the investigations that is going on.
When you say communication, in what direction?
They are part of the investigation that is going on, so they cannot be part of investigation without being communicated to.
Okay, so they're being communicated to in line with the ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
All right. Is UNA, as a victim, as you've described, expecting any form of compensation whatsoever for the flight delay? We said 1 hour trying to sort out the issue and, being the victim. Is there any, if they're found guilty of disrupting the flight, we're already seeing NCAA dubbing them as the behavior as unacceptable, right? So NCAA is already vowing sanctions. Is UNA demanding any kind of compensation in this situation, being the victim as you described?
The extent of the report will be able to say what are we demanding in return for it, because we'll be able to assess the situation, what level of loss did we suffer, what level of damage, and what level of reputational issue that we encountered. So these are going to be part of the reports, and probably at the end of it, we'll be able to present our charges.
Right. Are you disappointed in the actions of the two passengers?
Definitely. Talking about the individuals in question, who they are. Those are people who a lot of people in the society look up to, who have a lot of numbers, who will be able to influence people right. And unfortunately, they are using the numbers to influence people the other way around. So we should be disappointed.
All right. Before you go on an unrelated note, this is not even related to the issue at all. I've been telling Natalie for the past few weeks, I've been craving 1K Shito and K&K, and I heard United might be going to Accra. I'm just saying those two things and seeing what might happen.
We're already in Accra.
I know. I'm just saying that, Shito is in Ghana, 1K is in Ghana. I feel like eating them. United is going to Accra. I'm just putting it in the ether.
I have a flight. United Nigeria have a flight that goes to Accra every day on daily basis from Lagos and Abuja. So I hope to have you on that flight maybe one of these days to go satisfy your craving.
Like, oh, your ticket is ready.
The ticket is always ready.
So,
okay.
The ticket is always ready.
All I want to do is take my cutlery, get to Ghana.
The ticket is always ready. The flight is waiting for you.
Okay, we have to go now, but what I'm just asking for is a free ticket, okay? It's a free ticket.
Not A. You see, you keep saying A like it's one.
How many tickets?
Aha.
He's asking for miles. Thank you once again.
He's asking for what?
Miles. Thank you so much.
For miles.
We have to go. Thank you so much for joining the program. What a nice chat. We hope we can chat on other issues and subsequent AM show editions, which Nnamdi will be anchoring because I'll be on leave. I'm going to Accra. Thank you so much once again.
That would be nice to have you on the flight.
So we're seeing that United Nigeria Airlines is demanding an apology from the two passengers who had that physical altercation on board the aircraft to Lagos. So we'll see how the matter unfolds in the course of today. And of course, we'll follow the story in subsequent bulletins. The morning show returns, and when we come back, we'll be discussing the president's recent remarks at a meeting, an engagement involving legal practitioners and judges, one that even stalled Apia TV's ongoing case at the Enugu State High Court. Stay tuned.